So these are all the meteorites that we found. I wanted to do one video for all of them. We believe they have passed all of the home tests that you give them for meteorites. So some meteorites have a crust, and that's where when it entered the Earth's atmosphere and burned, it created a crust over the rock. Okay, other ways you tell are they have like these little thumbprints. So this one's got two perfect ones. The other home test you give them is a magnet. They're all magnetized, every single one of them. Another one you can do is you can rub them on ceramic, and this one's the only one that isn't magnetized, but it looks just like one we'd seen on the internet. And it melts. The rock melts from entering the atmosphere. It could also be slag, but there were other signs that made us think it is not, that it is a meteorite, including the holes. Okay, and they aren't little holes like lava rock. Lava rock has a bunch of little itty bitty holes, but because it has big holes and little holes, we're thinking this one's a meteorite too, but it is not magnetized. But it passes all the other home tests, and these pass every home test. So you can take it, put it on ceramic, and depending on the color it comes out on the ceramic would determine if it's a meteorite. You can sand them down and try to shine them up, and they'll look a specific way if it is a meteorite. Usually very shiny. So they've all passed all of the tests for being a meteorite, the home test. Now pieces like this are too small to send off to be tested, but we're pretty certain that it is. This one's also too small to send off. Now this one's a geo. If it is a meteorite, now see, geos are not usually magnetized. They didn't say it was impossible, but they said it's not likely a geo if it's magnetized. So the only other thing it left was a meteorite, but it's got this crystal veining in it, which is, you know, usually a sign of a geo. But it's also got, if I can find it, hang on, let me take the camera off, right there. Those crystals in it. Blue and green crystallization in it. So if it is a meteorite, it seems to be a geo type of meteorite. And it can be both. It does say that meteorites can be geodes. It's less common, but it is possible. So I'm looking forward to getting the saw and cutting this one up. And these are ones we haven't showed before because I had them in a jar of a bunch of rocks we're just now starting to go through. But we do believe these to be meteorites. All of these to be meteorites. And copper is not magnetized, so we thought it might be copper. Copper does not magnet, and this is also magnetized, so the whole rock is, not just where the copper places are. But we do have reason to believe that is also a meteorite. So those would be all the ones we believe are meteorites. I've done a lot of videos on this one. It's got the little dragon. We found it with a bunch of Native American artifacts on private property where we were given permission to metal detect. All of these were found on private property, places we've lived. And because these are so small, I can't send these off to be tested either. Because you have to send a piece about that big to be tested. And that's going to take a huge chunk out of something that's already small, and it looks to be a geode on top of it. So anyways, I'm going to wrap them up really good, nice and secure, and I'm going to take them to the bank and put them in a security box. And we already took the chunk off that. That's what that's about. We took a chunk off right there to send off, and we took a chunk off of this one to send off to have it appraised and certified. But the other ones are just too small. We would be taking too much out of these to do that. But I love that these look like stars. I mean, they're very unique. They almost look like the galaxy. It's very, very unique. Very, very, very unique looking.